Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-month reading for April 2020. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. If it resonates, consider a personal reading. Just send me an email and we can make that happen. Otherwise, I'll tell you everything else during the reading. So, Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, and your insight for Tauruses for the middle of April 2020? What do you see? What do they need to know to reach your higher ground, become closer to universe and closer to divine? Any messages you have will be greatly appreciated, and we thank you. Taurus, middle of April 2020. What do you see? What do they need to know? Can you please show me what the general energies are for Taurus? The middle of April, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, excuse me. I will be leaving a Vimeo link below. It is your this month's extra, which will be the journey. Okay, so we'll be the premise of it, of your extra is what will your next journey be, and in there it'll have how you will embark on it, what you will encounter, and what your destination is. Okay, challenge position, we have the Knight of Wands in the upright. Oh, this is interesting. Advice for Tauruses, middle of April. Advice for Tauruses, middle of April. We have the Nine of Swords in the upright, and how will Taurus be moving on from this reading or out of the middle of April? We have the Two of Cups. Okay, so the whole over feeling I'm kind of getting from this is there is somebody who is kind of trying to get you to do something and you don't want to do it, and I feel like it's going to be a fork in the road for your connection, your relationship, your friendship, whatever it is you have with this person, okay? And I'll show you why. So, and then I'm sorry I didn't even mention other things. Just really quick, please. Your sun moon prediction readings are in my playlist for 2020. The 2019s are in there. You can always ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook and Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. I just got to get that out of the way. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here, and here your general energies are you're very adamant about something. Somebody is trying to get you to do something or go someplace with them or take on some adventure. You're like, no, not doing it. There is too much risk involved. You're not up for this adventure. You do have a tendency, all over. Okay, it's not every single one of you Tauruses to be very practical, very conventional, very traditional. And whatever is being presented to you is really like off the charts. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm just going to stay here and do this, okay? For all we know, it could be the coronavirus and somebody trying to get you to go out and you're like, no, I'm going to keep my mask and my gloves on and stay inside because I don't want to get sick, thank you. You know what I mean? It could be something like that, or it could be, anything, but you just want to stay put where you are. Whatever this person's trying to get you to do, you're saying, no, thank you. That's an event that I don't need that kind of excitement in my life right now, okay? We move on to the challenge position, and they're relentless. So, they keep on saying, come on, just do it. You're so set in your ways. Come on, let's take a risk. Take my hand. Let's go. Don't think about what's going to happen. Just do it. They're that kind of energy. And they really are trying to coax you to do something. I don't know if they want to get you to go out. I don't know if they want to romp in the sack. I don't know what it is. But you kind of know, and as tempting as it is, you kind of know that this person isn't really known for thinking things out, which is really your staple. So you really, you keep on saying, no, thank you. I don't really think, that's the right thing for me, but they're persistent. And they're making it sound really appealing, and they're really enthusiastic about it, and they don't give up. Okay. So, they're really chasing after you to kind of make this happen and really kind of, poking at you. So here we have the Nine of Swords in the upright, the advice, and it's interesting because here he is slaying this dragon that's coming at him. He's sitting up in his, and typically it's probably, based on what the traditional meaning is of the card. This is something he's seeing in his dream and doing in his dream. But I feel like the advice they're saying is slay the dragon. This person is a dragon. They're trying to get you to do something that is not for your well-being. It doesn't have your best interest at heart. It's a risky venture, and it's just not something that you care to take on. So they're telling you that, despite, and another thing about you guys is you do tend to be non-confrontational. You guys are stubborn, and you can be obstinate. You can definitely push your point apart, and you can be point over or through, whatever. And you can be assertive, but you aren't confrontational people by nature. You don't like to kind of start fights and stuff. So, they're kind of saying to you that it's going to be necessary for you to do this. So you may have to confront this person and really kind of tell them to knock it off. So slay the dragon is what I kind of got from this. And as you move forward, I'm seeing that this is going to affect your connection. Okay. You might end up having to go separate ways with this person. It might come to an argument. Remember, like I said, the confrontation. And it's just the two of you don't mesh. You don't understand. You're not on the same page. And I don't believe that you're going to be able to rekindle this relationship. Sometimes when I have too much tea, my tongue gets ahead of my mind. So that's what I'm kind of feeling. Okay, so you may see a connection ending, but you had to kind of stay with your principles, Okay, why is the Knight of Pentacles here in reverse for Tauruses? Middle of April, who is this person? Where's this energy? Additional messages for the Knight of Pentacles in reverse for Taurus. General energies. This is somebody you know. Okay. And you're giving this person a benefit of the doubt because you have a history with them. So you have a hard time kind of kicking them to the curb because you have a history, and you do kind of remember that deep down, they are a good person. They do have the best of intentions. But you're all about your stuff with this Queen of Pentacles. You're like, listen, I got my home, I got my kids, I have things going on that I have to take care of. I can't do that. I'm a different person now. And I do. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is very mature, and she's not going to let somebody in unless it's going to benefit her or help her out in some way. And I'm not saying that like in a mean way. It's just she's, if it's not going to kind of, help her or add to what's going on, not in a selfish way. Let's put it this way. If they're going to take away from what she has, she's going to politely send them walking, okay? And I feel like you say, I have everything I need right now. I'm in a good place right now. I'm mature. Everything for me is stable. I'm not looking for any kind of adventure that's going to take away from that. But like I said, you do have a benefit of the doubt because you have known this person and you knew them from another time, and you do have that connection. So doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest. It could be somebody you worked with at another company, a friend you had as a child, what have you. Page of Wands here. You are, and don't get me wrong, you are interested in this. What they present to you is interesting, but it's just, it's not anything you can take on at this time. So it could have been an offer of a new job, a new romance. It's just kind of like, take my hand, let's do this. Something that's going to bring about great change. Okay, so they're bringing news, and it's not negative. It's you can kind of see it happening. You're kind of inspired, but you're like, now is not the time for me to do this. I can't do this right now. I can't take that kind of risk. Okay, but it's not that you aren't interested. It's not that you aren't considering it or that you wouldn't consider it. It's just that you have to do what you have to do. You just can't afford it if there's consequences to it. Okay? Why is this Knight of Wands here in the upright in the challenge position for Tauruses? Who is this person? Where's this energy? Additional messages for the Knight of Wands in the upright for Tauruses. Who is this person? What is this energy? Oh, this person is really talking a good game. Okay. They're really trying to get you to do this, whatever it is. One of the things that they're doing, okay, so we have the Tower card in reverse, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the King of Swords in reverse, okay? Now, another thing I'm finding out, you might not be able to trust them. You can't trust them. So maybe that spidey sense kind of told you that. But one of the things they're telling you is they're like, come on, even if it doesn't work out, they're saying, because I think that's what your thing is. You're like, I don't see this working out. I don't see this as being viable, and this is why X, Y, Z. And they're almost saying, well, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work out, there's a reason why it didn't work out, and it's even going to be better. I mean, I don't know what kind of spin they're trying to put in regards to that, but they're almost making it seem like if this fails, then something will still come out of this. You know what I mean? Like something, I'm trying to give an example of what that might be. Okay, not to bring up the coronavirus, but I'm going to bring it up. Like, for instance, people are talking about, and this could very well be this because of the times we're in right now. So, and this is an analogy, not something I'm seeing, but let's say this person's saying to you, given the times of the coronavirus, they're kind of saying to you, I have this great idea, this is going to work or whatever. And it's almost like it's based on something falling apart because we have the Tower card here. And they're kind of saying, okay, well, yeah, this is really hitting the economy bad. People aren't going out to restaurants and this and that, but there are people profiting. The people that are making the face masks, the people that make the hand sanitizer, the people, you know what I mean? So they're kind of like, and not to be grim, but I mean, eventually it could be a matter of, people who, create coffins. At any time there's some kind of tragedy like this, and people worry about the economy failing, which is a valid concern, there's other people that benefit from it, right? Even though it can be grim or otherwise, but because of the situation. I feel like this is what this person's kind of selling to you. They're saying, but look, if the tower falls and everything falls apart, we can benefit from it. So they're making it seem like, and I think that doesn't sit well with you guys. And I can kind of get that. So they're like, let's take advantage of this disaster. But the problem that I have with that, and I can tell you guys know it's a challenge. So it seems appealing at first, and they're making sense, and it's a big opportunity for you. But you're like, but do I want to be that person who's like picking at the bones of people? You know what I mean? Going through the bones of people. But the challenge is, although this person is endearing to you, you know what they're doing is dishonest, and how it's being seen is seedy, dishonest, underhanded, taking advantage in a bad situation, or taking advantage of a bad situation, because we have the Thief card here in the upright, we have the King of Swords here in reverse. So obviously the Thief card, we all know what that is. Somebody who's doing something, it's shady, it's sneaking behind somebody's back, and they never get caught, okay? And sometimes it's even something that's okay to do, but doing it is kind of like ill, so I feel like that's part of the challenge here. King of Swords, that's just flat out somebody who is manipulating somebody into doing something. So they want you to be on board for this, and they're going to pretty much do whatever they can, whatever mind game. Okay, Veronica, slow down. Mind games they can do to get you on board. And I do think some of you have the money, so they need a backer, and you're the backer, so they want you to invest in this. Why is the Nine of Swords here in the upright for Taurus? Who is this person? What is this energy? Additional messages for the Nine of Swords for Taurus is the advice position. Slay the dragon is the advice position. Two of Cups in the upright. Page of Cups in reversed. All right, so they're saying nip this in the bud. Stop this right now, because while there is part of you that is thinking, you know what, there was a time, because there is that, and you guys can be sentimental, and that's another thing that is your Achilles heel. So because you know this person, you have a history with them, that's why you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and you're thinking of another time and how legit they were. So that's kind of tugging at your heartstrings. So they're saying, yes, you had a connection with this person. At one time, they were like the yin to your yang. They were your best friend. They knew you like no other. Or you guys had a solid partnership, business partnership, something like that. It was a very solid connection. But they're saying that things are different now. Page of Cups reverse, this person is different. Page of Cups reverse is someone who's super immature, and they don't want to do any work. Okay, so while they might have a really great idea, like, oh, this is a great idea, they're not going to have any follow through. You're the one that's going to end up doing all the work, okay, while they go off and do what they want to do. So while it might be a great idea, they're kind of pulling you into this, one, because you have the money and the backing, two, because you guys are hard workers and they know that you're going to do the work, and then they can do whatever they want, okay? It's kind of like the saying, it's easy to push a train forward, but it's a lot harder to build the train. You know what I mean? So, coming up with ideas, that's great, but who's going to actually build the train? So they're going to cause you angst. So we have the Nine of Swords here again in the upright, but now it's the traditional Nine of Swords. You kind of saying to yourself, because they're saying, if this comes to pass, if you make this connection with this person because of who you knew them to be, they're not the same person that they are. They're actually the Thief and the King of Swords in reverse, and it's going to cause you a world of angst and trouble. Here you are lying awake at night, literally saying, how did I get myself into this, and how am I going to get myself out? So those are the things they want you to consider when this person approaches you. So I do feel eventually you're going to say no. It's going to put a strain on your relationship. You're going to have to go your separate ways. And I think it's going to be really kind of, it's not something that you're happy about, but it's something they did to themselves, so don't feel guilty about that. Why is this Two of Cups here in the upright for Tauruses? Who is this person? What is this energy? Additional messages. Two of Cups in reverse for Tauruses. Who is this person? What is this energy? Yeah. So the idea they had, the vision they had, the plan, the partnership falls apart. It doesn't happen. You don't trust this person. So that's why you decide, hey, you know, you go over there, I'll go back to what I was doing. You just know that they're not going to pull their weight. Okay. And you know that there's not going to be a lot of success. So you cut them loose with the Eight of Swords. You decide, I'm not gonna be sucked into this. I must release you. You know, this is something that I kind of looked over, and I realized it's not gonna kind of work out for me. So you liberate yourself from them, because the opportunity that they presented that's going to come to fruition isn't going to come to fruition, and you realize it's too much of a gamble, it's too much of a risk, and it's just not something you kind of want to throw yourself into. So there you go. That was interesting. So keep in mind, if this resonated, consider a personal reading. Just send me an email. Also, click on the Vimeo link below for your extra, which is going to be about what will your next journey be. It'll tell you how you're going to embark on it, what you're going to encounter along the way, and what your final destination is. Other than that, check out my 2020 Sun Moon reading predictions. My 2019s are in there in the playlist. Ask me a question on an instant go. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, donate. Adios from Veronica Garnett. Bye.